Sir, would you also like to say something about the people with whom you have learnt naturopathy, like Vegiraju Krishnam Raju Garu, or Dr.
Mm.
Venkat Rao, or Dr. Vittal Das Modi, or many
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the seniors were your, contemporaries? Can you tell us? Because not many
Yeah,
people of
yeah.
that
No,
generation.
no, 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 not definitely not knowing. There are many people. I am also. I have to recall them.
Hmm.
Uh, and during those days, Parthasarathi was another man who was at Bhimaram when I went there and I fasted. He was also remember Mahavir Prasad ji. Then in Calcutta, Mukherjee, Kulranjan Mukherjee. In India, Mahavir Prasad Poddar at Jeffy and Jainaran Jaiswal, then Sharan Prasad from Urli Kanchan, then I think this KKR Sidhwa, who afterwards stayed in England, then Bhamgara, he was one of the most scientist doctor. S.J. Singh also was really great. He was working in those days. So there are many names to recall. Most of them, with the time gap, they are out of my mind also. But there were many such, and they were really great encouragement and motivators to us in those days.
Yeah. And in your vast experience and then clinical practice, would you like to share any experiences which has really made you commit to naturopathy further? Untold
Yeah, yeah.
stories or
Sure. There are many, and actually, again, in this, I was encouraged in the West instead of wasting, encouraged in India. Because in India, my colleagues, my friends, my family, and doctors, other, they were talking not good about naturopathy. They were saying, what you have started, you had a good practice. But afterwards, now most of them are not here. They have left the abode. So they were all not very really favorable to this treatment. So I remember twice or thrice I also was tempted to go back to medicine because I was not able to make good earnings out of this way. It was most a charitable thing at that time. So Maharshi Mahesh Yogi was the greatest motivator to me. He says, not now, but after 20 years or 30 years, you will remember. You don't worry about the financing. He supported me wholeheartedly for all my projects. Then at that time, I got, you see, great motivation, not from naturopaths, from Dongre Maharaj, great son. At that time, he helped me 50 years before with 25,000 in those days to carry on my work. Then Rama Subdaji, he is again a big saint. So these people, saintly people, they were behind me. But most of the doctors, they were not accepting very, really frankly. Now they are accepting doctors and they're talking to me that you have proved to be the super specialist now, they say. At that time, they used to call me a crack. Now say you are a super specialist, you are handling the diseases which we are leaving them off. So this way, there are many motivators, many of my experiences. And then at Jodhpur, where I started Nature Cure, which is still functioning very well, I came in touch with medical college, two deans. At that time, both were there. So unfortunately, one of them was suffering from dialysis. So he called me and then asked me to suggest something. Hesitantly, because those were not the days to go against the medicine so much, so we were very careful about talking also. So I suggested him some of our tricks, and he was definitely very much relieved of it. I remember he said to me, he was supposed to live for about only 1 year. He lived 10 years afterwards. he was often telling me, if you would have been with me, Dr. Gandhi, 10 years before, I might have been had a long life. So anyway, so these were my motivators. So then I got confidence, and medical field, those who were criticizing, they actually they afterwards picked up this thing very well. Now whenever I go to medical doctors, they all often talk to me very good what we say. They say lifestyle we accept 80% of our diseases from food, and we do accept, but we have spent so much money. And then the patients coming to us, they are expecting only medicine. They are not coming to us for diet and for any suggestion of exercise and stress management. So we have to work that way. So this was there were many motivators, many cases, because after that I was given few cases of dialysis, and during those cases of dialysis were much great improvement. Of course, none of them were able to get rid of their dialysis, but at that time. Dr. K. Banerjee and A. Banerjee were there. They were the deans. They told me, you have won how say what how I have helped. He says these people they were having twice a day. Now they need dialysis once a week or twice a week. This itself is improvement. It may not be cured. So that is how I was inaugurated, and I myself improved. And now in many camps, I am still organizing camps because of COVID. I have stopped. People I accept like such sort of cases, and I keep coordination with medical, and so we go hand in hand.
Oh, that is the real treasure of information that you have given. That we have to work in close collaboration with other medical fraternity, and then never to break that chain. What happens is when we are cut off, then patients also will undergo a lot of stress. So if we are working in collaboration with them, it becomes very handy, and the results also. But for that, both sides, there should be that give and take, and then understanding. So that is very nice, and that which you could develop it because of your perseverance, if I
That's
understand
true.
it right.
Very
Yeah,
true. Very true.
yeah.
And that's
And I
true because
yeah.
medical people are also ready to join us. And now I have got an offer from Medicos. We are running this course online. That why don't you have a course where we can join you once a week? So now the atmosphere environment is very favorable. If naturopaths go hand in hand with modern medicine, they should be able to explain them in physiological and biochemical ways. That is enough, and the
Yeah,
results they will speak to them, because
correct.
these people they say we don't have time even to eat. How can we spend so much time explaining him what is the role of diet, explaining what is the role of exercise, and how mentally should be poised. So this is right way. After coming over to Amravati, after practicing 30 years in Rajasthan, I came back to Amravati because here are my two daughters, and my one daughter and son, they are settled in Australia. So I joined here. So I started writing regular one column in Marathi, of course, because this is Marathi area. Every doctor, the day my article appeared, they used to call me and say, Gandhi, you are doing a great thing, which we were forgotten. This is the thing we were taught in medical colleges, but with due course, we just are busy with medicine and symptoms of the patient. Nowadays, the story is still worse because doctors also, the family physician concept is going out from the society. Now, super specialization and specialization come up. So they say this is right way and right opportunity. I think it is proper time if we naturopaths will start explaining in terminology of modern medicine what are the advantages and how they give relief, and how they uplift of physiology. by changing the pathology. I think it is going to be a big thing, and this way we will have to work. And the diseases have completely changed during old days. When I was in Hyderabad, the diseases were different. Now diseases are stuck so complicated because they are heterogenic diseases, medicine-generated diseases more. So we have to be very careful. In many cases, we need support of them. Only thing, minimum medicine or no medicine should be ordained instead of absolutely. We were sadists, rather. I say during my time when I joined naturopathy, we were working like sadists. It says no medicine is required. But then they used to get a lot of crises, and ultimately we have to refer them to the patient doctors. So now the time is very favorable because yoga has been recognized throughout the world. Naturopathy is coming in awareness, so that is very good.
Yeah. Sir, I also learned a lot about you through your articles and the way you were regularly writing to Nisargopchar Varta, published by NIN. And people also refer to you as, heart specialist. I believe you have cured many
Yeah,
people of
yeah,
cardiac problems. So, would you like to
yeah,
say the success
uh,
behind it?
yeah. The story starts from America. Dean Arnish, who is supposed to be the father of this reversing heart diseases. He was student with me at that time, and I'm really glad to say, at that time in Switzerland with Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, Sri Ravi Shankar was also there. He was only 21 years. So they were there. So when I started practicing this cardiac rehabilitation, either before or even after surgery or after angioplasty, many doctors joined with me. In Rajasthan, there were three MDs who helped me a very lot, and they arranged many camps. And they were motivated, and this was great thing to them. But they were not able to actually bring it to in their regular stream. That was the problem. But now doctors also ask us to arrange such camps.
So, what is the crux of this cardiac rehabilitation?
It's very simple. You see, if you through proper food you can change the whole pathological changes in the body, all what we call the different markers, and in many way in diabetes also, the whole, even it is going to have the two-way beneficial in cardiac patient. One is you will develop collateral circulation in them, and then you will have better circulatory system functioning with their problems of the heart, and that way they will be benefited, and they will not require any medicine. That is what I have experienced throughout my life.
Any special diet that you would recommend? Because
Yeah,
cardiac problems have become almost like epidemic now.
yeah. That's true. A specific diet in that way, I recommend. There are mainly insist now that you eat only two times. There is no requirement of opening mouth more than two times. But if you feel like eating, because we are habituated since ages such sort of eating, if you eat breakfast, have fruits with them, and then if you need something in afternoon, you take again fruits. But in your regular diet, we suggest them stay away from oils in any form. Even nowadays, I am convinced that there is no need of, we talk of this oils. We were talking about the processed oils now, which are coming, cold press oil. We don't need even that. The latest research which I am going through nowadays, that our fruits and vegetables, they carry all sorts of vitamins, all sorts of proteins, and they are adequate to human system. Old, outdated those standards which are still continued with the scientists in the medical field in their course, they are now not required. So this way we gradually change them and then stop their proteins for some while, then oil. So this way automatically the whole system or circulatory system changes, and as circulatory system we can change. I think heart will be definitely immensely benefited. There is no reason. So we suggest them plant-based foods to eat more and animal-based as less as possible or minimum or no.
Okay. Including milk and milk products.
Yeah, nowadays there is lot about milk and from products. When I was in US about 20 years before that, at that time I came in across with lot of researches that milk is not a human food. It is meant for cows.
Very
It is
nice to
meant for calves only. Hmm.
Yeah, very nice to know that you were the source and the inspiration for Dr. Dean Arnish, and also help them come up with programs to treat cardiac or come up with cardiac rehabilitation from you. And we would like to know some exciting examples of your patients getting benefited, and or from your family members, or some cases if you would like to share with the viewers.
Yeah, yeah. First case is myself. I was supposed to be a tumor of occipital lobe. It was not a benign tumor. It was, as they used to say, it was a cancer. So my case itself is the explanation, and I am now, I could reach 87 with still good health. Then I have many such patients in my family of allergy, osteoarthritis, cardiac patient, and recently during this COVID in Bombay, I have helped two cancer patients, cancer of colon. I gave them diet online, no enema, no any treatment. I used to call them every day, and they used to call to me so that they should, we should not lose their grip, and they will be motivated. Then after 6 months of my all this treatment, and when I evaluate them that they are better, I asked them to go to their medical experts, and they went there, and they were really surprised to say there are multiple ulcers. Now there are hardly 10 or 5 ulcers in your colon. So there are many more cases to enumerate. Actually, our days, people never used to come directly to Nature Cure Center. The patients used to propagate, and the patient used to refer us. No doctor. Afterwards, about 10 to 15 years of my practice, doctors started referring. They were referring only obese people, mostly surgeons. They wanted to conduct a safe surgery. They used to say, go and get reduced your weight. But those people, after going back, after they're going through surgery, put back again weight. So I have many more cases. I would say almost all. I had always accepted challenging cases because I work wherever I was with medical team. So whenever I felt or any hesitation I had, I used to consult them, and they used to cooperate with me. If there is any emergency, I used to send them. They used to handle them. They never talked against naturopathy. I still remember.
Yes. Yeah. That is very true. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable, views and very progressive ideas, and your accomplishments, and your, connections with people of such acclaimed reputations. Really, we are fortunate to have you with us today, and thank you very much.
Thanks you all. I am very much pleased and feel honored
Yeah.
inviting by me, you by you to me. Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks
Thank you.
everyone of your team. Okay, nice.